It's officially June 2025, which is completely insane because I feel like the year literally just started, but that's okay because we're gonna have a better mindset about the second half of this year. I did just want to put a quick disclaimer. I'm not any licensed professional or therapist or anything like that. Everything that I'm going to be talking about in today's video is just from my personal experience and pretty much what I'm going to be doing to realign with my goals for the rest of 2025. And feel free to take this blueprint, put it into your own words and put it into your own life and to see how it's all going to apply to you. There are 4 steps that I'm going to bring you through, and let's just get straight into it. So step 1 is to have clear, defined, and specific goals and to write those down. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that. I want you to get as specific as possible. For example, when I was losing weight, I was on my weight loss journey for over 10 years and I just said I wanted to lose weight, but I didn't know exactly how much weight I wanted to lose or what the time frame was on my weight loss journey. And I didn't really know what actions I was going to take to get there. So it ended up taking me over 10 years. Once I had clear, specific goals in a specific time frame, that's when I really started to see progress. And I'm just so excited about that. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see a video on that one. The best way that I have found for my own personal life to get as specific as possible is to have just a couple of categories that are pretty much like an umbrella of everything that encompasses our entire lives. So the categories that I like to use are health, wealth, relationships, home, and play. The first step is health, and this pretty much encompasses your mental and physical well-being and pretty much all attributes that go into those 2 things. So for example, mental health can be things like therapy. Do you want to start going to therapy? What kind of therapy do you want to get to? And really dig down and be specific. Do you want to do one-on-one therapy with the therapist? Or do you want to do family therapy? Things like that. You can do meditation. What kind of meditation do you want to start? Supplements also go into mental. I put this one in mental instead of physical because the micronutrients that you do take into your body really do affect your mental health. Like for example, vitamin D. Maybe you're not outside as much, or maybe you work indoors, or just, you're just hanging out inside. Then for me personally, taking a vitamin D supplement really did help because it really affects your mental health, and I find that when I'm getting more vitamin D, I feel a lot happier in my life. Your sleep schedule. Again, this can also be put into physical well-being, but your sleep really truly affects your mental well-being, and I stand by that. If you have a lack of sleep, it can give you this mental fog for the rest of the day. So I put that in there, and again, get specific. How many hours do you want per night? What can you do in your daily life to help improve your sleep? Does that mean maybe turning off all the lights an hour before bed, or you have like a specific chamomile tea that you like to have? Does it mean limiting screen time? Does it mean reading a book 30 minutes before? Does it mean putting blackout curtains in your room? Because that is something that for me is huge. Like for example, especially if you live in an area that has a lot of light pollution, even closing the blinds sometimes cannot be enough, and you can still get a lot of that artificial light in through your windows when you're trying to sleep, and that limits your brain's melatonin production and makes you stay even more awake. Oh, and music. What music do you listen to? Music also really does affect your mental health, so make sure that you're choosing music that does make you feel better, genuinely uplifts you. For me, I love starting my morning with some nice classical music or some lo-fi. It really depends on the time of year. But yeah, I love that. And also books. I do love a good book. A lot of the books that we read, and again, the things that we consume on a day-to-day basis, definitely change our mindset. So I would definitely look into some books that improves your mental health and your mindset. So for example, for my personal life, my goals regarding mental health look like maintaining reading or listening to my audiobooks. I feel like they really truly help. I'm sure you guys have heard Atomic Habits 1,000 times. I also love books by Brian Tracy, like No Excuses and things like that. And reading the books really do help me develop better habits that can help me get to my goals and where I want to be. That really helps my mental health because it gives me back the control that I feel like sometimes slips from my mind when I think, oh my gosh, things are happening to me, and I'm like, no, I can control how I react, and I can control what I'm going to do from here on out, and it is within my power to change my life, and that does give me a lot of mental clarity, and it makes me feel better. So also in this category is your physical well-being, and this encompasses everything from your eating habits and your food, your fitness, workouts, your beauty routine, things like doctor's appointments or your maintenance treatments, like for example getting your hair cut or going to get your eyebrows done or getting a wax, things like that. So what physical looks like for me is I actually did recently lose 43 pounds, and if you guys want to see a video on that, just let me know in the comments below. And I want to lose another 20 to 25 pounds and see kind of what my body looks like at that weight. I am focusing on recomposition and preserving as much muscle as I possibly can, plus building my glutes and kind of get rid of as much fat as I can at the same time. So once I get to there, then I'm going to see what it looks like and adjust accordingly. And then the next one is your wealth, which is pretty much self-explanatory. It's pretty much just like your career and your finances. What does that look like for you for the rest of this year? And what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to save some money? Do you want to change careers? Do you want to get a new position at your current job? Things like that. So for me, what this looks like is putting out my album later on this year, as well as starting this YouTube channel, which has been a dream of mine for, again, I procrastinated this for like over 10 years, just like my weight loss journey. So it's kind of crazy that I'm even doing this right now, but I really appreciate you guys watching. And next is home. Now this one, I wanted to give it its own category because your home life is extremely important. And I want you to keep in mind that this excludes relationships, because that is going to be next. I'm not including your relationships with your family or anyone that you live with. This category is specifically about your home. What is your home like? Do you feel like your home is your true place of rest? Another aspect of your home life is moving. Do you like your current house? Are you looking for a new house? Are you in the market to buy? Are you in the market to rent? Do you work from home? Do you feel like your environment at your home also translates to one area for work and one area for rest? Or are they kind of commingled and you feel like when you get out of work after your remote job, you're not truly home? Because there's also a couple of different things that you can do to differentiate your home life, even in a studio apartment, and that could be that's a whole nother video. And what does home look like for me? So for myself, one of my goals is to move later on this year to a new state, so we shall see. Next is relationships. So relationships pretty much entail any relationship with anybody in your life right now, and maybe those who are not yet in your life. So romantic relationships. Are you single, ready to mingle? You looking to be in a relationship? Are you already dating somebody and want to be engaged? Do you want to just stay dating? Are you with the wrong person? Maybe you don't want to be with this person anymore. Are you married and want to reignite the spark, or just maintain a great marriage with your spouse? How do you feel about your partner or your spouse or the person who you're currently with? Do they bring value and joy to your life? And do you bring value and joy to theirs? How is your romantic relationship? Is there anything you can improve on? One of the best pieces of advice that I have ever seen is, if you had to describe your partner as a piece of clothing, what would you describe them as? Some people say an old ugly t-shirt in the back of my closet that I haven't worn and will never wear again. Like that's a telltale sign. That's a telltale sign. Like, my husband is the prettiest, most comfortable dress I have ever put on and will always wear for the rest of my life. You see what I'm saying? So keep that into mind. Another part of relationships is family, of course. This is pretty much self-explanatory. It's pretty much just how is your relationship with your family? Are there any familiar relationships that you want to improve on, or ones that you maybe want to step away from? It's okay, even if family is family. Sometimes certain people really just don't deserve a bunch of your energy. Next is friends. For friends, it's really just, do you feel like your friends are uplifting, and do you feel happy when you're with them? Do you feel like you are excited to go hang out with your friends, or do you feel like you're kind of avoiding some of the friends? Maybe they're kind of draining on you. Maybe you go home and then you're like, oh my gosh, that was so exhausting. I really want you to look into your friendships and assess whether maybe I want to be closer with this person because I feel like we'd be great friends, or maybe I want to kind of back away from this person I've been friends with for a long time because, you know, they're not really adding value to your life, and if anything, they're taking away from you. Those are the kind of things you really want to assess and see what you want to keep, what you want to improve, what you want to get away from. And then there is professional relationships. What is your relationship with your coworkers or the people who work in your career field? This can be things such as networking, if you want to grow and meet new people, or do you want to improve your relationship with your boss? Because as much as we hate to admit it, our relationships with the people at work do have an impact on promotions and raises and things like that, even though it really should just be off of your merit and your hard work and the things that you put into it. A lot of it is relationships at work. Last but certainly not least is your religious relationships. So how is your relationship with the higher being in your religion? I don't want to just kind of generalize here, but for example, how's your relationship with God, or whatever you personally believe in? Do you want to go more often to a place of worship? Maybe you want to look into different religions, or maybe you want to get closer to your religion, or maybe you want to start praying more. Maybe you want to participate a little bit more more in the religious holidays that you maybe weren't participating in before. So just kind of figure out what that looks like for you and what your goal is regarding your relationship with your religion. Alrighty, sorry about that. I did just take a little bit of a break for a couple hours, but I am back. Alright, so let's get back into it. Fun stuff only. This category is completely dedicated to the sole purpose of enjoying your life. This is the things that you purely enjoy, not because you're doing it for money, not because you're doing it to try and impress anybody, but because you just have fun doing it. This entails your hobbies and going out and going on vacation, not for business, but just for literal pleasure, to chill. That's it, literally, to chill. We are finally on step 2. Sorry, I know step 1 is like super duper long. Oh no, I had to do my play! So for me, what that looks like is just trying a bunch of hobbies. There's so many different hobbies on this planet. Not that I necessarily am gonna go out and try all of them, but why not? I mean, I could. Like, I could. I don't know. I was like sitting here, I was like, what are my play ideas? Like, what do I want to do for play? I want to go to Japan so badly. No, I don't think that's gonna happen in 2025. I would absolutely love if that could happen in 2025, but I'm not planning on it. My play is to have tickets secured to Japan by the end of 2025. So not necessarily go there, but have tickets secured to go to Japan. I don't really have a whole bunch of things in the play section, I guess. I think I should probably add some more. So we are finally on step, why'd I have a 1 up? So we are finally now on step 2 of the process, which is to revisit this list every single day. This is going to be something that is crucial because you need to constantly remind yourself of what your intentions are for the rest of the year so that you're actively thinking about these things. So for example, in my life, I have a calendar and it's a dry erase one. I started using it not to write out any of my appointments or any important things really, but quite literally just to write my steps for the day. It also has to be in a place that's so obvious to you. I leave my dry erase marker right there on my desk next to the board, and I don't put it in the drawer, I literally leave it on top of the desk. I wrote out all of my 2025 goals on a sheet of paper, just like a small one, and put a magnet on my fridge so I see it every single day. Because remember, we have to make it obvious, we have to have it there, we have to put it in a place that we're actually going to be every day to be able to see it every day. And then step 3, wait for it, forget the goal. Forget the goal completely. Okay, what do I mean by this? I mean, forget the goal. Like, literally forget the goal. Okay, I'm like drilling it in at this point. I just don't know which take is gonna look better. So in step 3, I want you to forget all about every single thing you just did and then just focus on the daily actions that you have to take that will eventually lead to your goal. So for me, for example, my goal to lose 20 additional pounds, let's just say, instead of being like, oh, I have to lose weight, I have to lose weight, I have to lose weight, and then just kind of going day by day, just thinking about losing weight, but not actually doing any specific things about it, let me forget about losing 20 pounds for a second, and let me focus on getting my 10 to 15,000 steps a day, and let me focus on my calories in and calories out, and how much my protein intake is for that day, just to make sure I'm hitting my daily targets that eventually will lead in enough of a calorie deficit for me to actually get to my goal. And then every single day, I stick true to that, and that's where it's gonna get me. Step 4 is to forget the fluff. Forget all the extra stuff that people will tell you, oh, you have to have this morning routine to be successful. No, you don't. Forget the quick fixes, just get down to it. I was following these like 20-step morning routines to lose weight, and it was like, you wanna get up at this time, and you want to see the sun, and then you want to do this, and then you want to make your bed, and then you want to brush your teeth, and then you're going to go to the bathroom, and you're going to take a shower, and then it's going to make you feel better. Blah, 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 blah. Like, do all this stuff. Or this is the morning routine of an entrepreneur who has a super successful business. But in reality, you following that morning routine, yeah, sure, that's great, but you actually getting to your computer or your desk or wherever you do your work to actually sit down and work on your business is what is going to build your business. I mean, you can absolutely incorporate what you need to incorporate into your routine. I'm not saying to not do those things. I really wish somebody had just told me to forget the fluff, because that stuff will make you feel productive. It will. It will satisfy the need for productivity in our minds and our hearts. And sometimes when you satisfy the productivity, you really think, oh, I did what I needed to do. But in actuality, if your goal is to do the 10,000 steps, you just stepping on your walking pad or going for a walk or going on a treadmill, that's what you actually need to do to reach your goal. We are super intelligent. I'm intelligent, you're intelligent. we both know deep down exactly what we need to do to reach our goals. That's the hardest part, is like literally we know what we have to do. You know, every day you're like, okay, technically I should be doing this. And we just don't do it. So like, do it. I mean, even just making this YouTube video was one of my goals, and I'm super happy and super grateful to be here and just making and posting this, because this really took so long, so long, and like, you know, years of doubt and stuff like that, thinking, okay, well, I don't think I'm pretty enough for the camera, just kind of being like, oh, I don't feel like I have enough experience in my life to really create value to other people, but just realizing that yes, you do. I mean, everyone has so many unique experiences to them and so many things that they're knowledgeable about. Choose fear over regret, and that is going to be a whole video, because that's something I definitely live by. No matter what your goal is, go for it. Do it. Full force. Literally do it. Just do it. This is so crazy. Now I feel like Shia LaBeouf. I did just want to really quickly do a recap of the video. So step 1 is to have clear, defined, and very specific goals that also encompasses the categories of health, wealth, home, relationships, and play. And step 2 is to revisit your goal on a daily basis, whether that be calendar in your phone or physically in your house or somewhere where you're going to be every single day. Put it there. Step 3 is to completely forget your goal for a second and focus on the daily actions and little steps that it's going to require for you to get there. Step 4. I'm not wearing my ring. Where'd it go? It's right here. Forget the fluff. Forget the fluff. So thank you so much for watching. This was my first video, so I truly appreciate it if you would like this video. Comment if you have any goals that you wanted to reach for the end of 2025, and I would love to do like check-ins and stuff. And subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I would absolutely love feedback, and if any one of you has any suggestions on what I could do maybe for some upcoming videos. I've got a whole bunch of ideas, but it's kind of a little bit all over the place. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff, but we'll see what plans out. And I will be back once a month to check in with all of you guys, and I would love if you check in with me, and yeah, just kind of see where we are on our goals. I think that's super fun.